The Great Pyramid's hidden secrets. What lies inside Egypt's greatest mystery? In the middle of the Egyptian desert, where the golden sand meets the endless sky, there stands a structure so ancient, so massive, and so mysterious that even after thousands of years, it still refuses to give up all of its secrets. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Built more than 4,500 years ago for the Pharaoh Khufu, it is the last surviving wonder of the ancient world. Empires have risen and fallen around it. Languages have vanished. Religions have changed. Kings, conquerors, explorers, scientists, and treasure hunters have all stood before it with the same question in their minds. How was this possible? But perhaps the greater mystery is not only how the Great Pyramid was built. The greater mystery may be what still lies hidden inside it. For centuries, people believed the pyramid had already been explored. Its known passages had been mapped. Its chambers had been measured. Its stones had been studied. The King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, the Grand Gallery, the Descending Passage, the Subterranean Chamber. These names became part of the legend. But the pyramid is not simply a monument. It is a mountain of stone, built with millions of blocks, rising with mathematical precision above the Giza Plateau. And inside that mountain, there may still be spaces no human has entered for thousands of years. This is where the story becomes stranger, because in recent years, scientists using modern scanning technology discovered something hidden inside the Great Pyramid. Not a treasure room, not a golden coffin, not a secret tunnel filled with curses, but an empty space, a void, a large, mysterious void above the Grand Gallery. And no one knows exactly why it is there. The Great Pyramid has always been surrounded by silence. From the outside, it looks simple. 4 enormous triangular faces pointing toward the sky. But inside, it is more complex than it appears. A narrow entrance on the north side leads into a descending corridor. This passage slopes downward into the darkness, deep beneath the pyramid, toward an unfinished underground chamber carved into the bedrock. Another passage rises upward, leading to one of the most impressive spaces inside the pyramid, the Grand Gallery. The Grand Gallery is tall, narrow, and steep. Its walls rise upward in layered stone, creating a strange and powerful feeling, almost like walking inside the ribcage of a giant. At the top of this gallery lies the King's Chamber, a simple room made of massive granite blocks. Inside sits a stone sarcophagus. There are no golden treasures, no carved wall scenes, no painted gods, no mummy. Only stone, silence, and questions. For many people, that emptiness is disappointing. But for others, it is exactly what makes the Great Pyramid so haunting. Why would the most powerful king of his age build one of the greatest structures in human history, only to leave behind such a plain and silent chamber? Was the pyramid robbed in ancient times? Was the king ever buried there? Was the chamber symbolic rather than practical? Or are we still missing part of the story? For a long time, the Great Pyramid seemed to hold its secrets beyond human reach. Archaeologists could study the known spaces. Engineers could measure the stones. Historians could compare it with other pyramids. But no one could simply break open the monument to search for hidden rooms. The pyramid is too important, too fragile, too sacred to history. So scientists needed another way to look inside. And that is when they turned to something falling from the sky. Cosmic rays. Every moment, high-energy particles from space strike Earth's atmosphere. When they collide with atoms in the air, they create particles called muons. Muons are tiny, fast-moving particles that can pass through stone, but they do not pass through all material equally. Dense stone blocks more muons. Empty space allows more muons through. So, by placing special detectors inside and around the pyramid, scientists can measure how many muons arrive from different directions. In a way, they can create a kind of X-ray image of the pyramid. Not with light, not with radar, but with particles from space. This technique allowed the Scan Pyramids team to search the Great Pyramid without damaging it, and what they found shocked the world. Above the Grand Gallery, the detectors revealed a large, unknown void, a space hidden inside the pyramid's body. It appeared to be at least 30 meters long, almost the length of a passenger airplane. For the first time in modern history, science had shown that a major unknown space existed inside the Great Pyramid. But discovering the void did not solve the mystery. It made the mystery deeper. What is it? A chamber? A corridor? A construction space? A structural feature designed to reduce pressure? Or something with a ritual meaning we no longer understand? No one knows. And because the space has not been entered directly, It remains one of the greatest unanswered questions in archaeology. But that was not the only hidden feature revealed by modern technology. Another discovery came near the north face of the pyramid, above the original entrance. Scientists detected a corridor-shaped structure hidden behind the stone chevrons. Later, a small camera was used to look inside. For the first time, the world saw footage of a sealed corridor inside the Great Pyramid. It was not filled with treasure. It was not covered in hieroglyphs. It was a simple, empty passage, about 9 meters long, hidden behind the pyramid's outer stones. Again, the question was the same. Why was it there? Some experts believe it may have helped distribute the enormous weight of the stones above the entrance. Others wonder whether it could connect to other unknown spaces. At this point, no one can say for certain. And that uncertainty is what keeps the Great Pyramid alive in the imagination, because every answer seems to open another door. Every discovery reveals another shadow. Every empty space becomes a question. To understand why these hidden spaces matter, we have to remember what the pyramid represented to the ancient Egyptians. It was not just a tomb. It was a cosmic machine of stone, a sacred structure designed to connect the pharaoh with eternity. The pyramid's shape may have symbolized the rays of the sun. Its chambers and passages may have reflected religious ideas about death, rebirth, and the journey to the afterlife. For the ancient Egyptians, death was not an ending, it was a transformation. The pharaoh was expected to join the gods, travel among the stars, and live forever in a divine realm. So the Great Pyramid was not simply built to hold a body, it was built to serve a belief system, a bridge between earth and the heavens. And if that is true, then every passage, every chamber, every blocked corridor may have carried meaning. Even the empty spaces, especially the empty spaces. But here is the most mysterious part. The Great Pyramid does not explain itself. Unlike later tombs in the Valley of the Kings, it has no long carved texts covering the walls, no colorful scenes of gods guiding the dead, no detailed instructions painted in bright colors. Inside the Great Pyramid, there is mostly silence. Stone silence, mathematical silence, architectural silence. And into that silence, every generation has projected its own fears and dreams. Ancient treasure hunters saw hidden gold, medieval travelers saw magic, modern conspiracy theories saw lost technology. Scientists see engineering, astronomy, and unanswered structural questions. But the pyramid remains the same, still standing, still watching, still hiding something. By the end of the 19th century, many believed the pyramid had been fully explored. But the discoveries of the Scan Pyramids project changed that feeling. They reminded the world that even the most famous monument on Earth can still contain unknown spaces. And if the Great Pyramid still has secrets after 4,500 years, what else might be waiting inside? What if the known chambers are only part of the design? What if hidden spaces were created not for people to enter, but for symbolic or structural reasons? What if the most important parts of the pyramid were never meant to be seen? The mystery is not simply whether there is another room. The mystery is why the builders created spaces that remain sealed for thousands of years. And to answer that, we must go deeper, deeper into the pyramid, deeper into the mind of ancient Egypt, and deeper into the question that has followed this monument since the beginning. Was the Great Pyramid only a tomb? Or was it something far more extraordinary? If the Great Pyramid was simply a royal tomb, why does it feel so different from every other pyramid built after it? That question has fascinated historians for centuries. The pyramids that followed Khufu's reign became smaller, their construction techniques changed, their internal layouts evolved. Many contained inscriptions, burial equipment, statues, treasures, and elaborate decorations. Yet the Great Pyramid remained strangely silent. No painted walls, no elaborate carvings, no magnificent burial chamber filled with priceless artifacts. Only massive granite blocks, narrow passages, perfect geometry, and mysteries that refuse to disappear. Perhaps that silence is exactly what has allowed so many extraordinary theories to grow around the monument. Some people have claimed the pyramid was built by a lost civilization. Others suggest forgotten technology. Some even imagine visitors from another world. These ideas capture the imagination because the pyramid is so extraordinary. But extraordinary structures do not automatically require extraordinary explanations. The archaeological evidence tells a different story. Excavations near Giza have uncovered workers' villages, bakeries, breweries, copper tools, rope fragments, and cemeteries belonging to the laborers who helped construct the pyramids. These discoveries paint a picture very different from the old legends. Instead of millions of slaves working under cruel conditions, archaeologists believe the workforce was made up largely of skilled laborers, craftsmen, engineers, stonecutters, transport specialists, and seasonal workers who were organized on an astonishing scale. The construction itself was one of humanity's greatest logistical achievements. Limestone blocks were quarried nearby. The harder granite used in the king's chamber came from Aswan, hundreds of kilometers to the south. Each massive stone had to be extracted, transported, positioned, and aligned with remarkable precision. No cranes, no engines, no steel. Only human intelligence, human organization, and decades of relentless effort. Even today, engineers continue debating exactly how every stage of construction was accomplished. Various ramp systems have been proposed: straight ramps, spiral ramps, internal ramps, combinations of multiple techniques. Each theory answers some questions, while creating new ones. The truth may involve methods we have not yet fully reconstructed. But perhaps the greatest achievement was not moving stone. It was moving people. Thousands of individuals had to work together toward a single goal over many years. Food had to arrive every day. Tools had to be repaired. Measurements had to remain consistent. Mistakes had to be corrected immediately. The Great Pyramid was not merely an engineering project. It was an organizational masterpiece. And yet, even after understanding how it may have been built, we still return to the same unanswered question. Why? Why invest such unimaginable effort into one monument? To understand that, we have to step inside the ancient Egyptian mind. For the Egyptians, order was everything. The universe existed because balance existed. The annual flooding of the Nile, the rising of the sun, the movement of the stars. Life itself depended upon harmony between earth and the heavens. The pharaoh was not merely a king. He was believed to be the guardian of that cosmic order. His death was therefore not simply a personal event. It was a moment that affected the entire universe. The pyramid became far more than a burial place. It became a symbol of permanence, a monument that would outlive generations, a declaration that divine order would continue forever. Look carefully at its shape. 4 perfectly aligned sides, each facing almost exactly toward one of the cardinal directions. The precision continues to amaze surveyors even today. Without satellites, without GPS, without modern instruments, ancient builders aligned one of the largest stone monuments ever created with astonishing accuracy. How they achieved this remains an active field of research. They almost certainly relied on careful astronomical observations, but the exact techniques are still debated. Perhaps the stars themselves played an even greater role. Ancient Egyptians closely observed the night sky. Certain stars never appeared to set below the horizon. They circled endlessly through the darkness. To Egyptian priests, these became the imperishable stars, symbols of eternity. Many researchers believe the pyramid's passages and orientation may have been connected to celestial observations and royal beliefs about the king's journey into the heavens. Whether every proposed astronomical alignment is correct remains debated, but there is little doubt that the sky held profound religious importance. This brings us back to the hidden spaces. What if some chambers were never intended to hold objects? What if their purpose was symbolic rather than practical? Modern architecture often includes spaces hidden inside walls for structural support. Ancient architects understood weight, pressure, and balance remarkably well. Some hidden voids may simply reduce stress within millions of tons of stone. Others may have served construction purposes before being permanently sealed. Still others may carry religious meanings that we no longer recognize because the beliefs surrounding them disappeared thousands of years ago. The difficulty is that archaeology depends on evidence, and evidence inside sealed spaces is incredibly difficult to obtain. Researchers cannot simply cut through the pyramid. Every stone removed destroys part of history forever. That is why modern technology has become so important. Muon scanning, 3D laser mapping, ground-penetrating radar, high-resolution digital modeling. These tools allow scientists to ask new questions without damaging the monument itself. Instead of breaking the pyramid apart, we are slowly learning to see through it. Each technological breakthrough offers another glimpse into one of humanity's oldest masterpieces. Yet every discovery reminds us how little we truly know. The pyramid has stood for 45 centuries. It survived earthquakes, wars, looters, changing climates, the collapse of entire civilizations. Still, it stands, watching every sunrise over the Giza Plateau. Perhaps that is why the Great Pyramid continues to fascinate people around the world. It represents something larger than ancient Egypt. It represents human ambition itself, the desire to create something so extraordinary that it survives long after its creators are gone. Every civilization leaves behind stories. Some are written on paper, some are carved into stone, some survive only as myths. The Great Pyramid combines all three. It is history, it is architecture, it is mystery. And perhaps that mystery is its greatest gift. Because mysteries inspire exploration, they inspire science, they inspire new generations to ask better questions. Every archaeologist who walks beneath its towering stones knows that certainty is rare. Each new answer opens another mystery. Each hidden corridor suggests another possibility. Each scan reveals another piece of a puzzle that may never be completely solved. Maybe that is exactly how the ancient builders intended it, not by hiding treasure, but by hiding questions. Questions strong enough to survive thousands of years. Questions that continue drawing explorers, historians, engineers, physicists, and dreamers from every corner of the world. The Great Pyramid reminds us that history is never truly finished. Even the most famous monument on Earth can still surprise us. Perhaps another hidden chamber still waits behind millions of limestone blocks. Perhaps the mysterious void is only one piece of a much larger design. Or perhaps the greatest secret is not concealed within the pyramid at all. Perhaps the greatest secret is the remarkable civilization capable of imagining, organizing, and constructing such a monument thousands of years before the modern age. When we stand before the Great Pyramid today, we are not simply looking at an ancient tomb. We are looking into the mind of one of history's greatest civilizations. A civilization that understood mathematics without calculators, astronomy without telescopes, engineering without machines. And although thousands of years have passed, the Great Pyramid is still speaking. Its message is not hidden inside gold. It is not locked behind secret doors. It is written into every perfectly placed stone, every carefully measured angle, every unanswered question. Because the greatest monuments are not remembered simply for what they reveal. They are remembered for what they continue to hide. And perhaps, somewhere deep within the heart of the Great Pyramid, one final secret is still waiting. Patiently, silently, for the next generation